Peace, best luck November 8th, all our candidates. See, Susan from Hong Kong, and actually, my husband and I lived in Hong Kong for 2 years. And we saw Hong Kong actually went back to China in 1997. We were there 1996 to 1998. My husband, John, is a cameraman today. He was an expat for Hughes Aircraft. And I got a great job doing international trade. I thought, one country, two system, that's what the whole world bought, China for. But then, remember, the tyrants never keep their promises. Can never trust them. I have lots of Chinese friends here. Some are even, first time I met, and they all can share same story with you, how a communist country, totalitarian regime, totally do not value human lives, do not respect human dignity, and want to use identity politics to divide people. That's the hallmark of communism, identity politics. That's why we, the aging Americans, 3% of New Hampshire population, always hold events like this to bring people together. We welcome everybody. Even the moderate Democrats, if they want to come, join us, have conversations, that's fine. We're not going to yell at them, right? Actually, we are the truly, unifying, positive people. And so I just want to say how grateful I am for everybody come here to support us, support our candidates, and get to know them. And if you can spread the messages about our positive, freedom-loving people in New Hampshire, contribute to New Hampshire, to America. America is melting pot. We're all from all over the world come here to achieve American dream. This year election is about stop the socialist policies to destroying America. To destroy America, that's what the communist socialists want to do, or globalists, whatever you call them. We just want to keep our American dream alive. Because we are human beings, we're individuals. We're not just one of the identity politics, one of the numbers. So it is my pleasure to introduce you our congressional candidate and my actually former primary opponent. It's okay, Bob and I disagree on some things. We debated each other, but he won the race. I'm 100% support him to defeat Ann Coster.
Yay!
Ann Coster has been there for 10 years. Some people even got mad at me. They must be Democrats who say Ann Coster is not liberal. I say, really? Is that you listen to what she says, or you look at how she voted in the last 10 years? Always with her party line, always with Pelosi and the AOC and all the progressives and the Biden policies. Did she ever stand up for New Hampshire? No. Did she put the New Hampshire people first for voting for her? No, she will just repeat the party narratives and talking points. So Bob, I hope will destroy her voting record and let people know the truth. And when the WMUR debate coming up, I think next week. So Bob comes here, and we have his signs, we have his palm card if you want to get some. 32 is 75% New Hampshire land mass. So if you live in 32, you can take his signs and take his palm cards and tell your neighbors about Bob.
Thank you. Wow, what an introduction. That was the problem running against Lily, is she's so excited about stuff, and she's so emphatic about everything that it's like, I always felt like I had to go out and hype myself up and just drink 2 Diet Cokes before I got out there. It'd sound like weird and boring, and people go, oh, I don't want to vote for that guy. He's too calm. We need Lily, she's so excited. Thank you, Lily. I really do appreciate it and everything that you're doing to help me out and everything. Lily's been wonderful. She is absolutely wonderful. Can we give her a round of applause again?
Lily!
So, talking about Ann Coster, and I'm not going to go off all the red meat here. I think that we've got a lot of Republicans here that we agree on a lot of things. Like, everybody hates taxes, right? Is there a single person here who wanted 87,000 new IRS agents that are? Okay, come on now. Right. Send them to the border. 100%. You know, we've got a lot of things going on in this country that the Democrats don't like to talk about. What do they talk about? Singular social issue. And also now all of a sudden Social Security, when did that even come up? Who's talking about canceling Social Security? Because it's not me. You know, the commercial against me is hilarious. It goes like, well, this one Republican's against Social Security, so Bob Burns must be. But I'm going to tell you what, Ann Custer is trying to sabotage Social Security. How? By creating enough federal programs where people aren't working and paying into Social Security. So Social Security, I'm going to say this right now, you can tape me, you can put it out there. It's a pyramid scheme. I get it. But the only way that this continues to work is if people continue to pay into it. The only way that people continue to pay into it is people continue working. The Democrats are doing everything they can to keep people staying at home and living off of the government. You know, they say something about 50% of able-bodied Americans of working age are not working. That's terrible. We've got people sitting at home and they want their student debt to be paid for. They want their heating bills to be paid for. They believe that we should be sending money to the federal government to have it sent back to us. Has anybody here ever been to Washington, D.C.? Okay, have you ever been to the towns surrounding Washington, D.C., like your Alexandria, Virginias, your residents? And what do you see out there? Giant mansions. Do you know who lives in those mansions? And government workers. About the average income right now at the Department of Transportation, I think, is about $190,000 a year. $190,000 a year. These are the people who continuously tell us that they're sacrificing by working for the government. And by the way, they get a pension when they leave. And not only do they get a pension, they work for 30 years, they get their full pension, and then guess what? They become consultants. And then they make $500,000 a year. Okay? So when we talk about Custer and the people that she's working for, she's not working for the people of New Hampshire. She's working for those government workers, lawyers, and lobbyists out in D.C. That's who she works for. Now I got a friend, I don't want to throw him under the bus, I'm not going to name any names. He's a financial advisor out there. He talks to these people all the time. And they go, oh, I got $5, $10, $15 million now. I never expected to be this rich. That's what these government workers say. But they've been fighting and fighting because they are the victims. The unions out there say they are the victims. They deserve this. They've sacrificed by not going into private industry. Yeah, because all of them were going to be Elon Musk if they didn't work for the government, right? Clearly. But this is the thought that's out there. And this is the scariest part. When we talk about these federal programs, what we're talking about is you and I paying our tax money, sending it to the government, and sometimes not even paying our tax money, because did you know that they can print money? They can just print it. Which causes what? Inflation. So I explained this to somebody the other day. I go, you know, when I was about 9 years old, I watched a program called DuckTales. Anybody familiar with that? Huey, Dewey, and Louie? Okay, so they got themselves this gun that allows them to replicate. One of the things they replicated was money. And what do you think happened when they started replicating money? It caused massive inflation across Duckburg. And I mean, Scrooge McDuck was freaking out because, of course, Scrooge McDuck is Scottish like myself. We come from the country that's proud enough to have Adam Smith. You know, we kind of invented economics. I don't like to brag. But what he understood is you can't just print money. We can't just hand it out. This is what Custer and the Democrats think you can do. This is what they've told people. We can all become millionaires if we just print the money and give everybody $1 million, right? Wouldn't we all be millionaires? But what would that do to the cost of everything? We all know. I learned this at 9 years old from a cartoon made by Disney. And these are concepts that people who are graduating with advanced degrees from some of the best universities in the world, I'm not going to throw Dartmouth under the bus, but I'm throwing Dartmouth under the bus right now. That's where she graduated from. Who don't seem to understand this concept.
Yes, can you hold this for me
or they
for a
don't
minute?
think
I'm
the
gonna go get
voters,
batteries.
we the people,
Hold the rim
understand
only.
this concept.
Just hold the rim, okay?
I've heard a statistic before that New Hampshire has more small businesses than any other state. I think that we understand that concept. I think people get it. We understand that the Democrats have one singular social issue and don't want to talk about economics. Right now, heating costs, oil, fuel, electricity are through the roof. And what does Custer want to talk about? She wants to talk about abortion, right? She came out and said something about pharmaceuticals. Has anybody's pharmaceuticals gone up 100, 200% over the last year? Right, exactly. They're not. Insulin aside, which by the way, she takes huge donations from Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly, who make about 90% of the insulin out there. You want to talk about Suboxone and opioids? She takes huge donations from the opioid producers. But she says that she's out there fighting the pharmaceuticals to reduce the cost of pharmaceuticals for the elderly. And listen, I'm on a blood pressure medication. I'm sure there's a lot of people on statin, blood pressure medications, etc. I pay about $15 a month. My electricity bill went up 125%. We're talking hundreds of dollars. When we're looking at home heating oil, we're talking about thousands of dollars. But she thinks I'm concerned about my $15 medication. I'm not. Or my abortion. So listen, when it's these issues, and here's what we need to do. Everybody here needs to go out and talk to people. We need to talk. You need to find those 10 individuals that sit there and they watch Tucker, Hannity, what have you. And they love to talk the Republican game, but you know they don't show up to vote. Why did they show up to vote? Well, I was really busy that day. Well, I had something going on. I couldn't get away. I got in a hole on Netflix and we was watching a new show and, I just couldn't show up. Come on. We know who those people are. The ones who are always talking but not showing up to vote. You need to make sure that all of the Republicans and conservatives that you know show up to vote. This is a midterm. We're looking at probably about 50, 60% of the people who showed up for Trump are actually going to come out and vote this time. Really? 2010. I beat Chris Pappas for county treasurer of this county.
Okay.
I
have to go up. Yeah.
About 20, 30% less votes. Chris Pappas got 40% less votes in 2010 than 2008.
I have to go up
And I beat him by close to 20 points.
Come here, hold this. She's charging.
Even though all the Republicans didn't show up to vote, less Democrats did. Why didn't the Democrats show up? Well, this guy named Barack Obama said he was going to get out of Afghanistan, Iraq, close down Guantanamo Bay. If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. None of that stuff happened. So listen, the Democrats are not motivated right now. Why? Because they're feeling the burn in their pocketbook. They're feeling it. People are hurting right now. Okay? Some people are really hurting. Some people can absolutely not financially afford to continue to stay in their housing because of these costs. Some people are hurting because they had $2 million in their 401k, now they have $1 million. But there's a pain across the board here. And these are directly because of Democrat liberal policies. And we need to tell everybody, you need to start from the top of the ticket, the bottom of the ticket. Shout out to my county guys. Where are you? There you are. Love my county. They're at the bottom of the ticket. Sometimes they're forgotten about. And quite frankly, my executive council guys as well. We're also forgot about a time. They're, near and dear to my heart. I was answering executive council questions again the other night. We need to start from the top or the bottom. You need to fill it all the way through. Republicans used to win every single one of these seats when we had straight ticket voting. We don't have it anymore. But if we had straight ticket voting, we would win everything. We wouldn't even be concerned, right? Well, we'd be concerned. We'd be working. But we'd win every seat. We're out there fighting for it. But what we need to do is make sure that every Republican votes for every Republican seat. You're going to start right there at the top with Chris Sununu. You're going to go all the way to the bottom. Who's the... There you go.
Yay, Fred.
for county commissioner. No, county commissioner is the bottom, right? Who's the county commissioner? It's Bob Rowe, right? Yeah, Bob Rowe. Bob Rowe will be the bottom in this county. In many other counties, it's going to be a different commissioner. So start at the top, start at the bottom, go all the way through. Because when Republicans vote, Republicans win. And I want everybody to say that right now. When Republicans vote, Republicans win.
When Republicans vote, Republicans win.
Really, that's the best I can get right now. When Republicans vote, Republicans win.
When Republicans vote, Republicans win.
When Republicans vote, Republicans win. Thank you very much.